Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. It's your boy Coach One Stack, man. Welcome to the channel. Everybody wake up. God bless everyone. Hope everybody woke up today. Hope everybody's doing well. Yes. Good morning, good morning, good morning. God bless everyone as you step into the room. God bless everyone. Make sure you get your coffee. Let's see who's up in here. And let's have a nice little chat this morning before we all got to head off and do our thing. You dig? I had a very interesting question about that baby oil, some things I've been finding out through these documentaries and other videos. And I just wanted to get your guys' take on it. So let me know who I'm talking to, who's in the room, man. Tell me where you're from. Good morning, good morning, good morning. God bless everyone. God bless everyone coming into the room and those who didn't come in the room. Make sure you come in the room. You like the video, subscribe. We doing this, man. Hey, this is what we do. South Kakalaka. What's up, Michelle? How was you? I talked to you last night. How you doing this morning, Michelle? I talked to you a couple days straight. How you feeling today, Michelle? We're just getting this stuff out here, and I got some pretty interesting things to leave today for you guys. But let me know where you guys are from, because man, I want to get into it, man. I want to know why Diddy. Hey, you're welcome, sweetheart. You welcome. You already know. You're welcome. I want to know why the FBI did not charge Diddy with that 1,000 bottles of GHB laced baby oil, because see, until the other day, up until yesterday, no, oh, I'm lying. I just told a lie. What's up, Emma? Hey, Emma, where are you from, sweet? Where you from, sweetheart? From Las Vegas. Up until 2 days ago, we did not know for sure that it was GHB in that baby oil. So if you guys didn't see it, I'm going to explain it to you, man, and how I found out. You know, because I like to talk about facts. Now, we all figured it was GHB in the baby oil, but we know, hey, Frisco, I'm a diehard Niners fan. Niners in the house, stand up. You know what, before I get started, Emma, let me tell you a quick story about the first time I went to Frisco, right? I went to Frisco for a Niners game. I'm walking around downtown because I'm staying in Nob Hill. And I get lost. I'm with my lady that I'm with at the time. I was in my 20s. And we was going to Monster Park, the old stadium. And I looked around, and it just looked real different. It looked real dingy. And guess what? I had stumbled into the Tenderloin district. I was in the Tenderloin district, man. I thought I was going to get robbed. It looked real different up there in Frisco. You did. Yeah, guys, it looked real different in Frisco, man. But hey, but what they doing up there, they doing a whole lot of pimping. They didn't need no baby oil, you know. But you know, why didn't Diddy get charged that 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Now, if you guys know who what's his name, Clayton Harris is, you know, the black dude that looked like a damn Ninja Turtle with the big ass lips. That was the escort. If y'all Clayton Howard. If you guys know who Clayton Howard is, throw a 7 up for me, guys. Throw a 7 up, because Clayton Howard is the first one who really exposed it, looking like a Ninja Turtle, man. He should have been glad that he was able to even, you know, sleep with somebody of that caliber. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Because it goes to show you, man, everybody got a type, and they don't care what your face look like. Bars. Y'all know who Clayton Howard is. Throw that 7 up for me, guys. So we all on the same page this morning. And grab you some coffee. Look, we're going to wait, pray, and slay the enemy today, y'all. That's a great question, Michelle. I think I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you something else. You never even heard about that drug mule anymore, do you? Remember the white guy? Remember the white guy who was a drug mule? You never hear about him anymore. So let's take it back to that. It's funny. Let me go ahead and pin your comment. We're going to pin your comment. No, not that one. I'm sorry. But hey, Emma, you're looking good. Okay. But check this out. You know, you guys remember the drug mule, right? Well, you never heard his name come up anymore, have you? This is how the government knew what they were looking for. You dig what I'm saying? This is how they knew. You never heard this man's name pop up. Guys, you never even heard his name pop up in the documentary. The white guy that played basketball for Syracuse that got caught with the drugs. He was a drug mule. You know why? And they didn't even say he was never charged. You know why? Because that's who told them about those 1,000 bottles of baby oil. But see, it's a lot of corruption going on around here, guys. It's corruption going on. It's corruption going on with this whole thing is tainted because you have Homeland Security. You use all these resources, and you know you're going in there to get that baby oil. You know you're going in there to get that baby oil. You understand what I'm saying? You know it's laced with GHB, and yet you have never told the public about it, but yet you seized all 1,000 bottles. And I got to go with something that Gene Deal said this, I'm ex-law enforcement. Gene Deal is like ex-law enforcement. And what Gene Deal said was, he said, you never seen them raid a massage parlor and take the oil, have you? He said, no. They said, well, why would they take the baby oil? That's because they knew what was in there from the drug mule. So now here's the thing. If you got 1,000 bottles of baby oil, guys, that's trafficking in a controlled substance. That would have been a automatic federal prison term for Diddy. And let alone, I didn't put it in the title. I wanted to just make this be like a little teaser for you. Man, that we're gonna talk about the machine guns too that had the serial numbers obliterated. That would have been a guaranteed slam dunk. But they can come back and charge him with that stuff. And why don't I think that they did that? Because of some very powerful people on those videotapes at his house. Because now Clayton Howard, who looked like the teenage black Ninja Turtle. I mean, I don't judge dudes, man, but that dude looked like it. If y'all think Clayton Howard looked like a Ninja Turtle, throw a 7 up for me, man. If you guys think Clayton Howard looked like a burnt ass French fried Ninja Turtle, and he should have been happy that he was just smashing somebody at Cassie's caliper, a beautiful. If matter of fact, anybody beautiful, man, throw a 7 up on that. Because Clayton Howard, man, you looking for clout. And guys, I'm trying to tell you. And by the way, I met that dude, the Punisher. I met him out here in Las Vegas about a week after he did the interview. He's hella tall. He should have been, Clayton Howard should have been happy that he was just getting some to begin with. But Clayton Howard came out in the documentary and he said, man, we went through, I think he said 10 bottles of baby oil in 3 days. He said it was laced with GHB. So you have to understand how that works. For those of you guys that don't know how this stuff works, Puffy would heat the room up. Okay, when you get hot, your pores get open, right? You go sit in the sauna, your pores get open so you can detox. When you get out the shower, your pores are open. Well, when your pores are open, drugs can go into your system a lot more quicker. It's, if you rub them. It's just like if somebody's on PCP, angel dust, Sherm, or whatever, if they're sweating and you're sweating and you touch them, that stuff will get in your system. Okay. So they knew what they were looking for. Clayton Howard said that in the bag that the baby oil is laced with GHB. Gene Deal even said that the baby oil was laced with GHB. But how come he was not charged with it? I want to hear you people in the comments tell me, why do you think that he was never charged with this stuff? And you got 1,000 bottles, which is definitely a trap. Guys, that 1,000 bottles of baby oil carries more time. It carries more time than that Mann Act. Okay? Those 2 machine guns with the serial number obliterated carries more federal time than the Mann Act. And you got him dead to rights. Why? Because it's in his house. You're responsible for anything in your house. If they was to come in my house right now, guys, and find 20 damn rocket launchers, guess what? I'm in trouble because it's my house. It goes without saying. Not a possession is 9/10 of the law. And anything in your house, unless you're renting a room to somebody, and whatever is found in a person's locked room that they are renting from you and you do not have access to. That's the only time that that comes into play, people. What about the hold up? What about the children that were hey, the universe, the universe. Thank you. This is what I talk about, guys. See, no, we and is I gotta be careful with this when I say this, the universe. I gotta be careful how I word this because YouTube be playing with me, and I don't want to get these strikes. They don't push these videos out. My problem is, what about the children? See, you got Attorney Busby down there in Houston that are representing a lot of children as we speak. Now, these children, their parents were smart because when they took their children to go visit him, some at a recording studio, some at other places, man, they kids came out disoriented. They came out shocked. Their parents took them to the hospital to get them a sexual assault kit and a toxicology screening. And some of their kids were found to have GHB and ketamine in their system. And guess what else they had? That DNA, right? So this is why the reason why a lot of these minors have not come forward yet is because they're actually being smart. They're going after his money first because you only got so much money, people, and your money's gonna be gone. Yeah, your money's gonna be gone at the end of the day. But they can come back 6 months from now and file criminal. Now, I'm gonna guess here because I'm ex-law enforcement, guys. The reason why a lot of these parents haven't brought their minor children forward is because their children will be forced to sit on the stand and get grilled by the defense. And guys, if you wouldn't want your minor child sitting on trial with Diddy getting grilled by the defense with their name, with their picture plastered all over the paper, throw a 7 up for me, please. Mini me, you are absolutely correct. This ain't just about Diddy, man. It's way higher ups than Diddy. I'm glad, I'm glad that you are awake and your eyes are open. This ain't just about Diddy. Do you think if it was just about Diddy, man, that man would have told on the higher ups, man, in a heartbeat. You feel me? Michelle, they caught him off the private plane. They caught him getting ready to get on the private plane. Absolutely. The drug mule. That is how they knew what they had to go there and take. Let me explain something to you. You ready? Okay. If you don't know me, I always got to go through this on my lives until you guys get to know me. If you don't know me, man, I am ex-law enforcement. Okay. I have written search warrants. I have had confidential informants. Guys, I done played in the streets. I done sold plenty of things that I shouldn't have and more. Top of it, Edward. So I've been delivered by God for the last 8 years, almost 9 years now. So I try to let you guys know why I know these things and who you're talking to. So here's the thing. When you're dealing with a search warrant, people, I'm gonna tell you about a search warrant. A search warrant does not mean that you can just go into the house and search for anything you want. No. When you have a search warrant, when they write that search warrant out, you have to be very specific in what you are looking for in that search warrant. Here's the game. Guys, if you want me to break down search warrants for you, throw a 7 up for me, and I'm going to break it down so you can have a better understanding of this baby oil and search warrants of what the police can and cannot take. Throw a 7 up for me. Hey, that one song, Diddy is the pawn. He's the pawn. Hell yeah, he's the pawn. I agree with you, Brody. And where you from, Doc? He's the pawn. He is the pawn. They gave him access. Diddy is the pawn. I'm glad you guys are awake. I'm glad you're awake. And for the universe, every time if I even post anything about that man, they take it down, just so you know. They take it down. So here's the thing about search warrants. This is what you got to know. When Diddy had his search warrant, or anybody has a search warrant, you have to be very specific in what you are searching for. For example, you could have a search warrant, right? And I'm gonna exaggerate this a little bit, okay? I gotta exaggerate this a little bit. You could have a search warrant where you're looking for a let's say a Bengal tiger, a tiger. Let's say my bad. Let's just say a polar bear. Somebody has stolen a polar bear from the zoo, and they think that it's at someone's house. So you got a search warrant looking for this polar bear. Okay, polar bear is big as hell, right? So understand what I'm saying. You only, when you get that search warrant, you are only allowed to go look in the places where that polar bear could be hidden. So you can't open up a drawer. You can't open up your kitchen drawer because a polar bear can't fit in that drawer. You understand what I'm saying? You can't open up the dryer because a polar bear can't fit in the dryer. You only can look in the places where the items that you're trying to that you have listed can be. That's the only thing, those are the only places that you're allowed to look when you have a search warrant. Okay. So this is why when they have a search warrant, if anybody ever seen one, if they come looking for drugs, they always say, we're looking for baggies, scales, O-list, because these things can be anywhere. They could be in the crack of your ceiling. They could be up behind light bulbs. You know, they could be hidden anywhere. But so here's the thing. So let's just say a person has a search warrant for a AK-47 that's this big, a regular size one, right? A regular size one, and that's all they're looking for. And on that search warrant, it says we're looking for this specific AK-47 that's 2 and 3 feet long and all that. Okay, if they look into one of your kitchen cabinet drawers, okay, if they look into one of your kitchen cabinet drawers, which is a place where that AK-47 it can't fit, and let's say they find 10 kilograms of a narcotic, they can't take that or charge you with it. They can't take that or charge you with it because on the search warrant, it specifically said that they were there looking for an AK-47 that was 3 feet in diameter. It was 3 feet in length. So the thing is, because it cannot fit in your kitchen drawer, you wasn't supposed to look in there. So even if you do find, you could find a videotape of somebody deleting 20 people. That tape will be inadmissible because you were not there to search for it. You were not there at that residence to search for that particular item. So that is going to get thrown out of court. So when you have a search warrant, back to the baby oil, they had a search warrant to take the baby oil, or else they would not have been able to take it. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. Let me see. Travis, my uncle got busted for all that stuff they found in drawers, but he was over 200 pounds of child support warrant. Crazy though. He was in drawers. He got 10 years. But yeah, you know, man, the system is not fair. Man, we already know that. We agree on that. The system ain't fair. But you can't put packs in the drawer. You know why? When you vacuum seal them, they only this thin. Once you vacuum seal them, they only this thin. That's why they're allowed to look for that. But so what I'm telling you is, in a nutshell, guys, they knew. Listen, if the baby oil was not on that search warrant, they would not have been able to even take it from the house. They wouldn't have been able. You can't take anything out of the house that's not on your search warrant. And when you do do a search warrant, you have to leave a copy of the search warrant, and you have to leave an itemized list of everything that you took out of that house. So being that they knew that they were going in there looking for this baby oil, why didn't they charge him with it? You understand what I'm saying? Now the guns are another thing. The baby oil and the guns are two separate entities, right? D-Mac, exact. Some people are kind of asleep, right? Some people are a little asleep. So now the thing with the two machine guns that they found. Well, during the search warrant, during a search warrant, if they come across firearms, they can take those for what they call safekeeping. Safekeeping. Because they don't want to do a search warrant in your house, right? And then you come home and take that firearm and delete yourself. So they can take those for safekeeping. But on a search warrant, they knew that they were coming in there to get those. Though they knew that they were coming in to get laced baby oil. But why was he not charged with it, people? No, that's not that, Crystal. That's not true. You talking to somebody who was a whole detective, bro. I work narcotics, fraud and forgery, gang unit, and I work vice. And I was a field training officer. This ain't a conversation that we gonna have, bro. I trust me. I know the law up and down, and I was a hustler. So nah. So I don't know where you're at and what state you're in and what kind of illegal laws they've been doing to you, but that's a violation of your Fourth Amendment law. Nah, see, hey, Crystal, I'm not gonna argue with you in my chat. We ain't talking about civil. We're not talking about civil. So if you want to be a lawyer, jump out of the chat. We ain't talking about civil law. We're talking about a search warrant that is signed by a judge for criminal proceedings. We ain't talking about that. And we're not gonna have a pissing contest to see who's, because I'm the ex-law enforcement. I was a detective. I didn't wrote narcotics search warrants. Narcotics, gang unit, vice, a little stint in vice, and fraud and forgery. That was detective. Field training officer for 4 years. Started as a police cadet, corrections officer, police officer. Dad, ex-law enforcement, 32 years. I'm pretty much qualified because I've written many search warrants. So now, no, I'm not. I haven't been a police officer since I was 30 years old. So now, back to the search warrants. You can only take what's in the search warrant and you have to leave a copy. So now, see, in a lot of your guys in southern states, mostly your southern states are your small communities, you guys fall victim to people doing shit the wrong way because people don't know any better. Because if you knew your Fourth Amendment rights and the police came into your house and they took things and they did not leave you a copy of the search warrant, if they did not leave a list of the things that they took, well, you could sue them. And this is why. They have to leave a list of the things that they took, because let's just say, for instance, you got your grandfather's Rolex watch that was sitting inside of this safe right here, okay? It's an heirloom that's been passed down from generation to generation. And now they go into this safe because they have access to look in small places because they're looking for drugs, which if you're looking for drugs, you can look anywhere that drugs can be, including that safe. So now all of a sudden, if now all of a sudden your grandfather's watch or your great grandmother's wedding ring that's been passed down from generation to generation has been taken, or they take it for safekeeping, they have to keep an accurate record of everything they take out of your house. And they have to leave you with it so you know what was taken. That's law. Now, in some of y'all states in the South, I'm here to tell you, the police just do what they want to do to y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. In the Midwest, and when you get down south, especially a lot of small towns down south, guys, y'all really don't know law. Your police don't know law. Half of them shouldn't even be cops, because what they just doing what they want to do to you guys. But what you fail to realize is you have rights. You have Fourth Amendment rights. So first of all, if you don't know your amendments, you're going to get walked over every time. And it ain't up for me to tell you. Your Fourth Amendment right protects you from all that. And if you don't know what that is, I advise you to look it up. That is what protects you from illegal search and seizure in your home, in your person, in your car, and in some cases, your job. There you go. If you want to get banned, keep on trolling because we don't do bad energy up in here. If you want to get banned, keep on trolling because we don't do that up in here. Crystal, some law enforcement is crooked. Yeah. Hey, Edward, let's talk about that. Edward Adams. Check this out. Are there hella dirty cops? Sure it is. But let me ask you guys a question. It's people that's dirty that work at Walmart. It's dirty employees that work at McDonald's. It's dirty people that work at the EOS gym I'm about to go to that don't do the right thing. Whatever job that you guys have right now, it's dirty people that work there. That's what I did when I was 30. After that, I was a hustler, man. I was a street person and I made a whole lot of money too because I knew what I should not do. And I got delivered by my Savior Jesus Christ 9 years ago, well, almost 9 years ago. It's dirty people everywhere. And see, and that's what a lot of what the problem is. You guys put these police on a pedestal. Guys, just because somebody is work for the police department don't mean they smart. It doesn't mean they know law. In every state, you have what's called a revised statute for your state. So if you're in Alabama, it's called the Alabama revised statute. If you live in Texas, it's called the Texas revised statute. That's the book of all the laws that are applicable to your state. Well, you're responsible for knowing that. And all the police do, it ain't like you can memorize the book. So you as an average citizen can go get that book yourself and you can look up certain laws that's going on in your state so you know what's going on. But it's dirty people everywhere, including dirty cops. Have I seen it? Yes. Have I seen dirty people at McDonald's? Yes. I've seen people spitting people food. It's all the same thing. Have I seen dirty pastors? Yes. Do I think he will receive any further charges? Let me see. Oh no, I feel you, Derek. But what I'm trying to tell people here, like me, I'm not a know-it-all, brother. When people come in here late and they hear half the story, sometimes it's best to just be quiet and listen. Sometimes best to be quiet and listen. This is why at the beginning of my lives, I break down my pedigree of why I know what I know, And if this is your first time in my chat, you guys might want to go back and watch some more of them. I ain't talking about civil law. Civil law has nothing to do with the Diddy case. Civil law has nothing to do with the Diddy case. This is all criminal. That's like me coming here talking about tax law. It has nothing to do with the chat. So we don't have the time, because I don't have the time to spend an hour talking about something that's not on topic. You feel what I'm saying? Do I think he will receive any further charges? Definitely. He has some charges right now that he's pending. Do you guys know who Jonathan Hay is? Todd Sweeney. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Todd Sweeney. You're right. Most of them do. A few play by the rules, but it's like anything else. Just like your boss at your job, he does what he wants to do, right? Just like the pastor at the churches, they do what they want to do. They do what they want to do. Nobody's held accountable. That's the problem in this world. So do I think he's going to receive further charges? Yes. Let me see. What is GHB? GHB is a date grape drug. Okay, now, so that's why they didn't charge the same thing about what was in the hotel when he got arrested, even the stuff in his plain sight. Exactly. See, that's my point. See, now, I don't know who said earlier that Diddy is a pawn. He's a pawn. You guys got to understand something. Listen, And some of you guys wasn't alive. You haven't lived long enough yet. Diddy has been filming what he has been doing since the early, no, my bad, since the late 80s. The late 80s. Some of y'all wasn't even born yet. I'm a 70s baby. Since the late 80s. So now you don't know who's on those tapes, right? So this is why he's getting a lot of favors. Remember, Mayor Eric Adams gave him the key to the city and then was indicted himself, but pardoned by Trump. When he got caught in the hotel room, and what he had in that hotel room, he had two packs of that Tunchi, which is that sniff mixed with ketamine. And if you don't know what ketamine, I'll tell you, it's a horse tranquilizer. And the pink stuff is just pink dye, just to turn it pink. He was caught with pills in a bottle of the name of Frank Black, which, you know, they're gonna let the pill case go. But the biggest thing he was caught with was crystal methamphetamine. He had some of that right there in a little baggie next to the Tunchi. Now, being somebody who moved a lot of that crystal methamphetamine when I was in the streets, this is why a lot of this stuff is taking place. They could have easily charged him. So now, Michelle, I don't know what the see out here in Vegas, Michelle, you have to get caught with 4 grams to really go to jail of something like that. So I don't know the weight of it. I don't know what the law is in New York behind that. It definitely would not have been federal. You understand what I'm saying? In a lot of cases, because he had his federal charges and they know he's going away, the state would have had to pick that up. What he was caught with in the hotel room, and the state would have to go and start prosecuting him for what they found in that hotel room. And so we got to use our head. Why would the state waste their money on trying to get him with a simple possession charge, you know, which is going to take time and money out of their budget when he's going to go do federal time, if that makes sense. So that's my reasoning of why he wasn't charged with that. But the machine guns, getting caught with 2 machine guns with the serial number obliterated, off the top, that's a slam dunk. That would he would be in prison right now for that. That is a automatic federal charge. Automatic. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. And that's what we should be asking. Why wasn't he charged with that? If they have a search warrant, how do they know what they're going to find ahead of coming here? Let me tell you. Let me pin your comment. Let me answer your comment, Derek Dempsey. When you have a search warrant, okay, you have to get a search warrant based off information that you receive from somebody. Let me break it down for you. And I'm going to tell you how he got his search warrant, okay? You get the drug mule, right? You get the drug mule. Say the drug mule gets caught with this. This represents some type of narcotic, okay? You got the drug mule who gets caught at the airport with a bunch of these, right? The drug mule, the white guy. The drug mule gets caught. Hey, man, this ain't mine. This is Diddy's. And matter of fact, hey, I don't want to go to prison. Trust me, I've had confidential informants before. I've had people to be a confidential informant who didn't even have a case against them because they just wanted to get paid. People be informants for a lot of different reasons. So that white guy who got caught, he said, man, no, this ain't mine. This is Diddy's. This does not belong to me. And if you let me go, I'll tell you what else he has at his house. Now, because this dude has so much access to Diddy, and you don't know how long they had been following him. See, they could have followed him from Diddy's house. So watch this. Let's just say the police are watching you, for example. The police are watching you. You don't know why they're watching you, and the police have been watching Diddy for quite some time, and everybody that was going and coming. You get stopped, and you get a bunch of these, and this represents narcotics. And you say, and they just seen you leave Diddy's house, and he said, "No, this ain't mine. Under penalty of perjury, I swear it's not. No, it's Diddy's. And if you go in Diddy's house, you're gonna find X. You're gonna find X, Y, and Z. That is enough probable cause because they saw him leave that residence and they caught him with narcotics to now write a search warrant for that address. Okay, and if he just said, hey, I got caught with this Tunchi, and these are everywhere. And by the way, you're gonna find some. When you go in that house, you're gonna find a room with 1,000 bottles of baby oil in it. It has GHB. Well, in their mind, once they get inside that house, well, they would know that he would have to be telling the truth, because when they find the baby oil, how would he know that this? How would he know where everything is at in this house, and that there were 1,000 bottles of baby oil if he never been there? That is information that stands up in court. That is not hearsay. That is why they know what they're going to find, because an informant is normally going to tell them why. There, you can only get a search warrant. You're only going to get a search warrant when they're looking for something, when somebody has been caught with something. In some rare cases, they will have a search warrant for a person. They just want to get a person. They are looking for a person. A person could be on the run. Well, then the search warrant would be for that person. But if it's for anything else, narcotics, if it's for guns, it's always going to be an informant. It's always going to be an informant involved that then told them that the first thing they do, they give you a piece of paper. They're going to give you a piece of paper, and they're going to say, write down. That's one song. Yeah, it's true, bro. Bro, I was a cop. I wrote search warrants. I still know how to write them. This is what I did for a living. And I was a hustler, delivered by God almost 9 years ago. So when they sit that informant down, they're going to take that informant. They're going to give them a piece of paper. They're going to say, here, give us a sketch of what the house looks like. Why? Because that's why when the police break into your house, they're coming in tactically a certain type of way. They want to know exactly how that house is broken down, so they know every twist and turn. So number one, for their safety, so nothing happens to them. And so now you got to understand, if I'm not inside of a house, and I give the police information, and I say, hey, if you go inside of that song 410's house, and you go into his if you go to the basement, in his basement, and you look in the left corner in the basement under a box of tampons, you're gonna find 1,000 bottles of baby oil. And they go in there and they look under the tampons and they find 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Well, then my information is proved to be true and factual. I am proved to be a credible witness, because I'm not in that house. And how would I know where it was at, where it was located, and how to get there unless I'd been there and seen it? That stands up in court. That is how they found the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Now, honestly, I never made a video that it was GHB until I knew it was GHB. And the only way that I knew it was GHB was when I saw Clayton Howard's interview, where he came out and said that Diddy told him it was, in Gene Deal's interview. That's the only reason why I'm speaking on it, guys. Facts. But facts. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. But guess what? Somebody's going to be the scapegoat. And unfortunately, let me explain something to you guys. When you have a party at your house, guess who's responsible? You. See, you got a word that's called vicarious liability. And if you don't know what vicarious liability is, I'm going to tell you what vicarious liability is. Vicarious liability is just that. You have a party at your house. You have a party at your house, right? Now, let's just say, for instance, at your party that you throw, you have a big old, you got hundreds of people at your party. You got some teenagers there that have been sneaking drinks at your party and you didn't know it. And those underage teenagers, they leave and they go get in an accident and they delete somebody. Guess who's going to jail? You. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Because number one of the most famous, one of the most popular doctors out here in Las Vegas that does hip replacements and a very avid Golden Knights fan. Him and his wife almost went to prison behind that thing. The same thing. Having a big party, had some underage kids there. They were sneaking drinks, and when they left there, they hit somebody, DUI, and they deleted them. And they almost went to prison for that. So that's why they blame one person, because you have a lot, you have a responsibility when people are at your house when they leave there. Just like no different if you no different than if you owned a bar. So if it's your house, if you're throwing a party at your house, and if the police come raid that house, and it's a big old pile of whatever type of narcotics sitting on the kitchen table, you're the one that's responsible for that, not anybody else. Nobody else is going to jail for that. You are, because it's your house. Vicarious liability means you're responsible for everything up under you guys. Vicarious liability means we're going to talk about the police department. And I'm going to explain to you. I don't know. He should get charged for the baby oil. And you guys welcome, man. I'm just here to explain. Like I said, guys, if I don't know something, I'm going to tell you, you know what? I don't know. If I do know, I'm going to stick with my P's and Q's and tell you what I know, because I actually did this shit before. When I talk about some street shit, I did it. And it's a lot of y'all street people that I could tell that you wasn't in the street. I could ask you 2 or 3 questions to tell what level you was at. Everybody that say they're a hustler ain't, trust me. But what vicarious liability is, say you take the sheriff, you got the sheriff of the police department, you have the owner of Sam's Club, you have the owner of Apple, you got the owner of Facebook. Watch, they're responsible for everybody that falls under them at that job. Everybody. So you got to understand, Mark Zuckerberg don't know the brand new intern that started working for him. He don't even know his name. He ain't never met him. The sheriff don't know this. He don't know these young recruits that are in the police academy. He don't know them. He ain't never met them. But because they are part of the company, and because he sits at the top of the company, he is responsible for everybody below him. So when one of these recruits get in trouble, they get a DUI, guess what? That falls on the sheriff's back. If you start working for Facebook and you are an intern and this is your first day at work, the owner don't even know you, and you make some racist comments and get them sued, guess what? He's responsible. It's no different than you being a parent and your children being underage. If they go destroy somebody's property, you're responsible. Not your kid, you're responsible. That's what vicarious liability is, people. Okay, Jason, I don't know who Mark Garagos and Mark Agnifilo are. I don't know who they are, but I can't answer your question. You don't have to, if you're in somebody's house, you don't have to be aware that you're recorded. You have no right to privacy in anyone's house. When you are at somebody else's house, if you are in their car, or you are in their place of employment, you have no expectation of privacy. And if anybody want to go pull out a law book of the 4th Amendment and prove me wrong, I will send you a $1,000 cash app right now. This is what I did for a living. You have no right to privacy at anyone's house. So if you come to my house, I can put a camera wherever I want to. I could put a camera on the toilet seat in the bathroom if I want to, because it's my house. A good example of this, man, and like I said, a lot of y'all not old enough to remember this. When 50 Cent bought Mike Tyson's old mansion that has in Connecticut that he still owns, that has 100 bedrooms in it. 50 Cent mansion has 100 bedrooms in it. He bought it from Mike Tyson. 50 Cent was the first person to come on TV and say, I have cameras everywhere in my house, even the bathroom. Why? He said, because I don't ever want to get accused of anything and not be able to have proof of it. So yes, when you're at somebody's house, you don't have to tell any. Now, if you don't have to tell nobody that you're taping them or filming them. Even in the public, if I come out and meet one of you guys, I don't have to tell you that I'm recording you. Now, if I am on a job, if we are at work in the workplace, yes, I do have to tell you, because you have an expectation of privacy. If I'm in your car, I can't be filming you and recording you, because I'm violating your Fourth Amendment rights, because I'm inside of your car. But remember, if you're in your car, you could tape me, you could film me. I have no expectation of privacy in someone else's car, in anyone's houses. Neither do they. I don't give a fuck if it's the president. He don't have an expectation of privacy in your home. So if the president just wanted to come to one of y'all guys' house and you just happen to have cameras, and he went to the bedroom and he was getting his black back blown out, guess what? You can show the tape, because he has no expectation of privacy at your house. Facts. And that's what I want. And I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see that too. I think we're going to see that too. JSTUA, I think we're going to see that too. I definitely think we're going to see that. We think we're going to see, especially after that documentary, because you guys missed my live, right? It would prove he has let me see. It would prove he has access to the narcotics in order to do half this shit. Yeah. And like I said, this live was originally about the 1,000 bottles of GHB baby oil. Why didn't they take it? Well, because Diddy is a pawn. And some things, if you charge him with some things, guess what? That's going to open the door. Guys, I got about 12 more minutes on this live. Let me break something down to you guys. Do you realize that all those tapes that they found at his house, what shocked me was they only charged him with the 3 women. But remember, when they got all those tapes from that house, from the residences, the judge had to go through and look at those tapes and authenticate the information. Meaning the judge had to go through and look at the tapes. And so by looking through those tapes, you think he didn't see other people getting assaulted? You think he didn't see some minors, some stuff going on with some minors? But the thing is, the judge can't bring forth the charges. The judge has to look through the tapes and only allow the evidence that he is being charged with into the courtroom. So if you charge him with other things, that means that they're going to go look through those tapes. And if looking through those tapes, it shows some very powerful people, right? If they're freaking off, has something to do with something else that he's charged with, and it's on that tape, guess what they got to do? They got to play that tape in open court. He had politicians. He had royalty. He had little people. And the judge has seen all that. The judge has seen all that. The judge has to go through all of that tape to find out, okay, this part right here, okay, this part is for the trial. Okay, this part right here, don't worry about this. This has nothing to do with what he's being charged for. Oh, this right here, this is part of the trial. This right here, he's not being charged with this, even though it's something foul. The judge can't just come out and charge you, because in order to have a charge, you have to have a victim. In order to have a crime, you have to have a victim. If somebody has not come out yet and said they want to be a victim, you cannot have a crime. You got to have a victim, a crime, and a location. So what that's called, hey, that's called the arrest pyramid. If you don't have a victim, you cannot have a crime. If you don't have a location where it took place, you cannot have a crime. There is no crime. So the judge, even though he's looked and seen a bunch of little other things going on these tapes, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. Let me give y'all a little game. You can go on the dark web. You can go on the dark web and find all sorts of things, and that's all I'll say about that. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Because last time I talked about the dark web, I got in trouble. Watch them see. Who is this? Lake Elsinore, that's what I'm talking about. Watch this. Bam. Human nature. Exactly. All of this came about because of the drug mule. Human nature. Have you noticed that they have not even spoke on the drug mule's name no more? They ain't even spoke on his name. They ain't even spoke on that man's name anymore. They never spoke on his name. That's how they knew. That's how they knew about all the baby oil people. The drug mule. He went and cut him a nice little deal, right?
I recently purchased the most popular glucose meter online and decided to test it with you. If you have diabetes,
ain't nobody gonna be perfect. Then you got people out here trying to nitpick the kid. Oh, he threw the air.
Yeah, you haven't heard the drug mule name even mentioned anymore, because that's who told them about the baby oil people was the drug mule. How would they know? And now that they have it, why aren't they charging? Hey, you know what? Boom. How I got 552 people in the chat and 43 thumbs up. That's all the likes I got. Let's get the likes up in here, man. Really? You guys want to continue the live? Let me give you guys a couple minutes to get the likes up, man, if you guys want to finish this live. Really? Miss Haywood, how many likes do I have up in here? So I don't even normally do that, but come on, man. The least you could do is just tap the like button. And you're right, GHB is not ecstasy. Miss Haywood, what are the likes looking like up in here? Let's get the likes up. You guys want to finish this live? Because ain't nobody else giving it to you the way I'm giving it to you. But I mean, if y'all don't appreciate it, I mean, I don't have to go live. I just keep it to myself and just make videos. But at least smash the button for you, boy. Jesus Christ. Before I finish this. Tony Smith, you can leave. This is my live. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about up in here. You don't have to be in here. You can get out. And that's right. GHB is not ecstasy, by the way. GHB is a human body natural chemical. That's why when they took it off the shelf, when they made it illegal back in like 1998, they still sold a chemical that you could buy in GNC that once you drank it, the chemicals inside of your body turned it into GHB. But anyways, I was gonna give you guys a little story, man, because I always like to give like a little. I always like to give like a little nice little true story about either law enforcement, the streets, or the spiritual side. We'll say that for another one, man, where we get more likes and get more participation. But other than that, man, hey, man, I appreciate you guys joining. Thanks for liking the content. Thanks for participating. Hey, man, but get up on y'all laws, and I'll see you guys next time.